Welcome to the Deep Dive. We like to dive headfirst into really fascinating topics.
We do.
And today is no exception.
Yeah.
We are going to be diving into science fiction and real-world anxieties.
Okay.
And we've got a really great springboard for this deep dive. The upcoming film, Alternate.
Alternate. Yeah, it's been generating some buzz.
It has.
Even though it's not out yet.
Even though it's not out yet.
Yeah.
It's shrouded in a bit of mystery.
Right.
But the movie poster alone, just looking at it,
It's striking.
it is. It's stark, like a black background
Huh.
and almost this shadowy figure.
Right.
But they're clutching this glowing sphere, and it really draws you in. And the tagline, sometimes the only way to survive is to escape.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That sends chills down my spine.
It does, right?
Yeah.
And that's where I think this connection to real-world anxieties comes in.
Okay.
The movie centers on this scientist who teams up with, get this, an alien?
An alien.
An alien. To find a cure for a lethal virus that is just, like, ravaging the planet.
Oh, wow.
And they believe the answer lies in another dimension.
Okay.
Now, does this sound a little familiar?
Well, yeah. I mean, we've all been living through a pandemic.
We have.
Yeah.
And it's not just the pandemic itself. It's this reliance on science to provide a solution, this uncertainty.
Absolutely. That fear of the unknown.
Yes. And Alternate really seems to tap into these anxieties and, I don't know, amplifies them through this lens of science fiction.
It's interesting because the release date is coming up soon.
It is October 18th, 2024.
I mean, that's just a few weeks away.
I know. It's almost as if the filmmakers are, like, holding up a mirror.
To our fears.
Yes,
Yeah.
to our present-day fears.
Wow.
It's like, is this going to happen?
Right.
I don't
Well,
know.
I mean, it makes you wonder, right? Like, all this sci-fi we love, is it because we want to grapple with real problems, but like in a safe space?
Ooh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
It's like we're rehearsing for potential futures.
Right.
So, Alternate. One thing that really stuck out to me on TMDb, that's the movie database.
Yeah.
You know, for those of you who are new to the deep dive, we love TMDb.
Yeah, it's a great resource.
It is. But their title section, it's completely blank.
Really?
Except for Alternate, there are no alternate titles.
Huh.
It's like the filmmakers are saying, this is it, this is the story.
No alternatives.
Exactly.
Wow.
It's intriguing and a little unsettling, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, this is inevitable.
Right.
It makes you think about the director, Amit Shekhar.
Amit Shekhar.
Yeah. Wait, you know that name.
The screenwriter.
Yeah.
Known for his dramas.
Yes.
This is his directorial debut.
It is.
Wow, he's going all in.
Right, jumping into the deep end.
Totally.
And get this, he also wrote the screenplay for Alternate.
So we're seeing his vision completely.
Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing.
It's not just dipping his toes in. He's diving in head first.
I love it. And the genre blend, for Alternate, it's interesting.
What's that?
It's fantasy, horror, thriller.
All of them.
Yeah, all rolled into one.
That's a lot. I mean,
It's a lot to handle,
it is.
but I think it'll be really, really something else.
Each of those genres just, like, digs into your skin and then puts you back together differently.
Yeah, you don't know what to expect.
Right. And when you combine them,
Who knows?
Amit Shekhar, what are you doing to us?
It makes you think, what kind of ride is this going to be?
That's true. That's true.
And thinking about those genres, the fantasy part, right? It hints at these other worlds maybe, but then the horror, there's danger.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like something scary is coming.
Yes, lurking.
Exactly, lurking. And then thriller right on top of it, so you're going to be on the edge of your seat, twists and turns, the whole thing.
Okay, I'm in.
Right.
Yeah. You mentioned other worlds, and it just made me think, interdimensional travel, that's like what Alternate hinges on, right?
It's a big part of it.
But in real life, it's still, like, are we ever going to do that?
I mean, who knows, honestly. Some physicists talk about wormholes.
Wormholes.
Like shortcuts, right? Through space-time and these alternate dimensions.
It's like bending reality. I can't even imagine it.
Me neither. But it's fun to think about.
It is. And maybe that's why we love science fiction.
Yeah.
All the what ifs.
Totally.
You get to explore that without, actually going to another dimension.
Safely, which I'm fine with.
Same. But I will say this, the synopsis for Alternate
Yeah.
doesn't really say much about this other dimension.
It doesn't, and I was hoping for a little more.
Me too. Like, what is it like? Is it a utopia? Is it even worse than what we're dealing with now?
We don't know. A mirror image or something we can't even imagine.
It's like those missing alternate titles, remember? Another blank space.
It's true. Give us a little something.
Right. Just to, tide us over.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
no budget on TMDB.
Oh, that's right.
No box office numbers or
It's
anything.
probably because it's not out yet.
Probably.
But still, it makes you wonder, are we talking big budget, explosions, crazy special effects?
Or is it more about the characters and the story, you know?
Ooh, good point.
Small and powerful. We just don't know.
I love that we don't know.
Me too. More to uncover.
And the cast, it's interesting.
What about it?
It's a really good mix
Yeah.
of actors from all over.
International.
Yes. Some big names, some I've never heard of, and from such different backgrounds.
I think it speaks to, how global this all is.
What do you mean?
The anxiety, the fear.
Oh, right.
It's not just one country or culture, it's everyone.
Yeah, that's true, especially with the whole pandemic thing.
Exactly. We're all connected now.
Yeah, it's like no matter what, right?
Right.
What's
Yeah.
happening, we're all in it together.
Exactly. For better or worse, right?
True, true. Makes me wonder, though, how alternate will weave those different viewpoints in.
Ooh, that's interesting because, yeah, the anxieties might be universal, but solutions, those can be different for everyone, you know?
That's true. Not everyone tackles things the same way.
Right. Even with the pandemic, think about how different places handled it.
That's true. So many different approaches.
Right. And Shekhar, he's all about making you think, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's put some of that in alternate.
I love that. Layers.
Yeah.
Making us question everything.
Exactly. And speaking of details, the language for the film is listed as English,
Okay, yeah.
which, makes sense. Big sci-fi movie. They want everyone to see it.
Makes sense. Go with the, what do they call it? The lingua franca.
Yeah, something like that.
But it does make you think.
It does.
English, it's the language of science, of global communication even.
Right. Like when we talk about pandemics, about solutions, it often comes back to English.
So it's like by choosing English, alternate is part of that conversation now.
Yeah. It's subtle but important.
Definitely. And subtle seems to be Shekhar's thing, right?
Totally. Speaking of subtle, no reviews for alternate yet on TMDb.
Well, yeah, it's not out for a few weeks.
True, but still, you'd think there'd be something.
It's like a blank slate.
It is. All this anticipation, waiting to see what it's all about.
I like it.
Makes you think about why we love sci-fi,
Yeah, how so?
It's not just escaping, it's like we're facing the unknown, even if it's fictional, right?
That's true. And maybe even preparing a little in case the unknown becomes known.
Exactly.
And alternate, I mean, it's got it all. Science fiction, real anxieties, and I'm sure it'll be visually stunning.
I can't wait.
So as we wait for alternate to premiere, here's a question. How does this film, talking about pandemics, other dimensions, how does it reflect what we're dealing with now?
That's a good question.
And how might it change how we see what's to come, The challenges, the possibilities, all of it.
It's definitely something to think about.
It is. And on that note, we're wrapping up this deep dive into alternate. Be sure to come back after you've seen it. We'll be breaking it all down. Until then, happy viewing, everyone.